Guys, we're going away. When you're listening to this, we're on vacation because we're like on a beach right now. And I told my daughter, you need this. I have 2 Tuesdays for you. And we'll do the first one first, and then we'll do another one because the whole conversation around like taking vacations and breaks and stuff and why I think kids need them too. But we'll talk about that after. But this one, thank God it's died down. Actually, fucking funny that we'll post a post of our whole bodies.
Naked.
Never fails. Actually, it's going to happen in Dominican too. We'll post a video, so see us in our bathing suits. In our bathing suits, people might be okay because when you wear a bathing suit, they like you. When you don't, they begin to hate you. So it's like, depends on what you're wearing. If you're half naked, they're like, bravo, yay, you look great. If you're in a dress or something, then they're like, you suck. Basically, it's like you can't win. It depends on what you're wearing. If your hair and makeup's done, if you look like, if I was to sit out and, if I was to go like this in a dress and on a beach and be like, hold on, love my body, fine. If I was to like go like that, it just depends on the position you're in. That's how much trolls or hate you're going to get or unfollows based on the position you're in, what you're wearing, what you look like that day.
Good thing we don't give a fuck.
No, don't give a fuck. So there's a whole special that's gone on with Oprah and Weight Watchers.
Oh, Oprah.
And just
to give a little bit of Oprah was part owner and had a ton of shares in Weight Watchers. She sold her shares and everybody was like, oh my gosh, like Weight Watchers is going to fall. She doesn't believe in it anymore. And that's why she's leaving. When in fact, she said the reason she left is because she really believes what they're doing is the right thing. And she didn't want to be
double interest or whatever it's called. She didn't want to be.
Yeah. She wanted to be honest. She didn't want to just do a special and talk about it so that her shares would go up. So she's like, I'm going to take myself out of this so I can be real about honestly what's going on here. She's making money for the specials as well, but
and who knows? We don't know that. We just know that hopefully she is. Hopefully she's raking in for the specials. Like, hopefully. She's a woman in business. And just because she makes so much money.
And about a year ago, she hired a new woman to be the CEO. And her name is Seema. And she comes from like a background in a lot. She started House Party. And she's really, really successful, brilliant, like young businesswoman who has decided to basically change the face of Weight Watchers because when we were back partners, it was
Weight Watchers.
It was
then WW, and then
what did WW stand for?
I think Weight Watchers,
wellness
and
something. And Seema was like, "Fuck it, who are we all kidding? No one's signing up for Weight Watchers who doesn't want to lose weight. So let's just be what it is."
Yeah.
Then, when obviously like science and medicine found out that there's drugs for weight loss, she was like, why wouldn't we help out our people who want to lose weight or people who need different kinds of medication to lose weight? So they bought this company called Sequence that is able to prescribe the drug that can help people lose weight, and then along with a plan for Weight Watchers, which you stay on, so it can help you with eating right, making sure that you don't lose muscle, you're taking the right vitamins, and that you have a community along the way.
Yeah, and a lot of the
this is not sponsored, by the way.
No, a lot of the weight loss drugs actually your body begins to like become accustomed to it, and you can like it's sort of like what's the word? A lot of people think you just like lose a ton of weight, and then I guess you can keep taking drugs higher and higher, and that you keep losing weight, but your body gets used to a certain thing, and then you have to go, and you begin to like if you're eating like shit, no matter what drug you're on, it won't change much. It will change enough, but it won't change much. Basically, is what the gist of life is. Mm-hmm. So Weight Watchers is like, sure, you'll lose weight, but you're not eating like you're still gonna not be where you want to be or feel how you want to feel. It's not going to make you feel miraculous. You have to eat properly to feel miraculous.
And often there's obviously like the vanity of weight loss, but also a lot of people want to lose weight so that they can have a healthier, stronger body so that as they age, they don't fall apart. And if you are just eating shit and you're not working out and you're not building muscle, losing weight is just going to make you frail.
And thank God the comments have slowed down on our bodies in any post, because sometimes we'll post like an older video, or like people won't even know, and they'll be like, oh, how'd you lose so much weight so quickly? I'm like, that video's from 6 months ago. Like, we're the same.
That video's from 3 years ago.
We're the same fucking person. Like, you're not even, this conversation is so irrelevant because we're putting women on the defense of what they look like and what they should be, and you're scrutinized for one way. And it's like, if you are someone who carries more weight on them, or it's so crazy that this is even a conversation. It really blows my mind that this is a conversation, because any other conversation, we've like brought down infertility, we've brought down partners. Like, you can't ask if someone's pregnant, you can't ask if someone's married, like, because just in case they're going through something. There's a lot of things that are just not socially acceptable because it's a really sensitive topic for them,
and it's personal.
However, with weight loss,
it's everybody's business,
and we put women in a position where they have to go and defend themselves. And everyone's like, Kelly Clarkson's in the news right now, and she's getting trolled and hated, and she had to come out and make a statement and all the things.
What was her statement?
Basically, I am on something, but it's not Ozempic. I'm on something to help me. Yeah, I'm on it. But she didn't say what it was. And I said to Nat, she probably doesn't want to say what it is, because then it's like she's giving free promotion for something. And then that company's going to make a whole shit ton of money. And everyone's going to go to the doctor and be like, I want that. So she's probably not saying it because she doesn't want to go and basically influence people in what she's doing. Because fuck, you should figure out what's right for you.
Yeah.
Even if that, I think you can share. There's one thing about sharing information. There's another thing when you say something and then you get slandered for it. Because if she said it, everyone's gonna be like, well, you fucking cheated, you did that. Like, it's not fair what we do to women in terms of weight loss and body. And everyone is we had like a whole body movement, like a whole like,
it's like for Kat and I, like, because of the years that we have been, if you want to call it an influencer or a creator, content creator, but basically public online, we have been at the forefront of watching the movement of body positivity. When we started, it was really more about like what was really.
Is it called that anymore? I think that's not even a word. Is it called? I don't even know.
I have no idea.
I feel like it's now like not even allowed to be said that. I have no idea.
In the beginning, when we got onto like social media and Instagram and everything, it was all about like working out, building muscle, like fit people were like the inspiration.
Yeah.
It's like the
really like
workout
muscles
and workout classes and like all that kind of, those people were really big on Instagram.
Yeah.
Then we watched the like fall down of them
getting hated.
Yeah,
like
hated. You talking about losing weight.
You're toxic.
Talking about these any kind of a diet plan, because there was so many diet plans going around. Now everything we watched it and we were like first. It's like so much when you're in this world, you're like the first to see it happen. We watched it all of them go down. Like you can't really talk about that, and it's all about all bodies.
Yeah. You trigger me when you say that.
And I'm not overweight and I'm not obese. This is my body and I can be perfectly healthy at this size.
Yeah.
And that's my business, and you don't need to tell, and don't you fat shame me.
Right.
Then we watched the celebrities starting to take drugs like Ozempic and stuff like that, and all getting like hated on for losing weight, because you can't be losing weight. That's not important. And like, it was like the biggest kept secret. Nobody would talk about it. Everyone was calling each other out. Oh my God, you're on a weight loss drug.
Yeah.
You're a big cheater. You're basically saying
you're canceled because you lost weight. You're canceled. You know what? And if you were someone who was in this space of body positivity and you lose even a little bit of weight, hated. Like, God for fucking bid you go and do that because you said that you were this way and now you're that way.
You're turning on me. I thought you were with me.
Yeah.
I thought that we weren't going to lose weight and we could stay like this forever.
Yeah.
And then, some of them were like, well, I went to the doctor and the doctor said I should lose some weight. And then they start talking about showing what they're eating or exercising. Everyone's like, oh, fuck you. You traitor.
Yeah.
And we are watching all of this shit go down, and it is crazy, and people becoming really, really famous because they are okay with sharing their bodies that aren't fully toned and all of that, and then becoming the biggest influencers. And it has been a fucking ride.
I want to take a quick break because I think that that's what the issue is. Actually, it's not the issue. I think the problem is, I watched some of the special, and the problem is that for years and years and years, 100% women were shamed for being anything other than something that was airbrushed.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact. Like if you look at magazines, if you look at movies, it was like, you shouldn't be eating that. You'll get cellulite. You shouldn't be eating that.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of shame. And a lot of younger kids would be watching this and they'd be told, you are not enough because you're not this way. And I think what we're missing is like a gap between your choice and what we're all living with from our past to what we're living currently now. And a lot of people, thankfully I did not grow up in this world where I was told that it's not true, but I think we are all told by magazines and stuff, you need to look like this, you need to look like this.
I'm so glad you just said magazines, because I was thinking, I don't know what's going on recently, but they're sending free magazines to our house.
Yeah. You said, like, what's this doing here? I'm like, I got a free magazine.
And you got a free magazine. Now I have all these magazines. And I was very curiously looking through the magazines, because I haven't read a magazine in a while. And all of the models and all of the everybody are still, nothing's changed in the fashion world. Like, I know it's changed in like the greater, but like runway, like
they're all the same.
They're all still the same skinny, like like all the spokespeople are still all the skinny models. It never, that world, it's like, I think it's like Paris. They say like in Paris, it's just like, be skinny. There's nothing to be. And it's still like that in the magazines. They never changed. There are, are they called plus size models?
I don't know.
Well, models that aren't really skinny,
but they're normal size. They like
girls, but they're really not the ones that are getting the big campaigns. Like they're really, the fashion is still on board bodies. It's crazy.
I don't know I don't know how, and I think that social media has a massive impact on the culture of reality versus like that job, that culture of magazines, right? Like there's like a disconnect because there's like what we live in, and then you put these people that are online in a category of what they should be because they represent something to you in your life versus what's up here. And I think if you don't struggle with body issues, it's easier to talk about, and it's easier to if you don't have like trauma or like triggers or a narrative about yourself. For us to be on Weight Watchers and talk about it feels like Weight Watchers is a very reasonable way of living, to be honest with you. Like if you're to like break it down, like it's just what you should and shouldn't eat. You can eat fucking everything, but no, you can't. You can't.
It teaches you what fuels your body.
It helps you understand what makes you feel good. That's really at the end of the day.
Which is different for other people. So it's not just one way. It's like you get to see what makes you feel great.
And I think that, if you eat, I can't eat chocolate and bread in the morning. I just can't. And maybe if you look at the patterns, and for us, that's what kind of tracking meant, was looking at the patterns of your day to see how you felt. But for others, that's a really triggering incident because it makes them feel like when their mom used to say, you can't eat that, but your son can eat that. And I know that still happens where people will let their son eat something and not their daughter. I know that for a fact. So I think that it really comes down to an individual own assessment of what you grew up with and what you feel about your body and why this conversation really triggers some people. And then you take into other considerations people who, I learned this from fucking Instagram, whether it's true or not. If you have ADHD, why food feels overwhelming and why you might go binge on something because your brain just logically just can't do anything else. So it just goes and binges. That's really hard for some people because if you're living in a binge cycle, all you're thinking about is the next thing you're binging about to eat. And that's not that you're having a body issue. It's a different chemical issue that you're dealing with. And, there is conversations around ADHD and people who are living with it that are a lot around food centric. And, if you followed us for a while, you know that I get number one, I binge on chocolate, probably because that's something that's fast, easy, and delicious. Satisfies me very quickly. And it's not like one chocolate bar, it's 7 chocolate bars. For some people, it's it's the narrative that their brain is like, it's the conversation of wanting to be, not being comfortable in their body, but not able to do anything about it because of their age, because of their hormones, because of everything. There's so many categories. And I feel like in the weight loss category we've done, you can either not talk about it, or you just are so like, I'm okay with myself.
And if you think about like everything you just said, it just reminds, like, if you really think about that, no two people are the same. No two people have the same experiences with their bodies, with food, with their experiences, with their families, with their genes, with their genetics. So for anybody to be talking about anybody else's journey, it's like you have no authority to tell anybody anything about their body because you have no idea
what works for them
and what is going on in their whole part.
I know.
So there's no way you can possibly know. So it should never be anybody else's business. But if you feel, and if you want to do something with your body, you should absolutely not be ashamed to do it and say it and experience it.
I know. And I think that what we've done in this whole conversation is like really what the weight loss drugs did for a lot of people, and people who, turn to working out, is they feel, well, number one, if you don't have access to it, you're like, you feel angry.
It's not fair.
You feel angry.
Yeah.
You feel angry that, in Canada, well, number one, you have to have a full doctor's, like, it's not given out, I guess, like in America. Here, it's not given out. You have to pay.
Actually, in America, there's a lot of people who can't get it as well. Like I know people who really want it and need it, but it's not covered, so it's too expensive.
Right. But we can't even get a prescription easily. If you even want, let's just say you wanted to lose weight, they don't recommend it for losing weight. It's like you have to pay some special program, weight loss program, to go get the thing. So what Weight Watchers is doing is really what everybody's doing, hopefully at a more affordable price than what a lot of people are taking advantage of the situation right now.
Because it isn't, I understand if you're sitting there like, I can get it, but I can't afford it. That's really unfair.
Yeah. So it is, there's a lot of barriers to even access it. So you're like, in my brain, because there was a lot of conversation about when it came out that people were feeling like it calmed their brain from thinking about it constantly. It's sort of like when you take Vyvanse for ADHD, it like settles your brain down so it's not manic. Like your brain on ADHD feels manic, and when you are constantly thinking about what you want to eat, it's a manic thing that you can't get out of your head.
And it's also taking up a large space in your brain that could be used for something else, whether it's, learning something new, a hobby, thinking about your children, relaxing. It doesn't have room for it because it's so busy thinking about food or their body or all of that. So what for a lot of people says is it silences the voice, the voice that is constantly speaking about something that is not important in life.
Yeah. And then I think that, I went on Vyvanse, I'm in 2 years or 1 year on Vyvanse now. When do we do this? I think it's 2 years.
Yeah, I think it's in 2 summers.
2 summers, like this will be our second summer. I definitely feel like less, it's not a constant conversation in my brain. Like definitely it's like calmed down so much. But I then think of the people who then have there's so many categories of why this conversation is so triggering or so problematic, because if you walk into a conversation with a history of your parents telling you you're not enough because of the way you look, then you definitely, of course, it's going to make you feel like, fuck you, don't tell me what to look like. Like, what do you know about me? You just go and take a drug and you're fine. Like, I just think that we need to understand that just as we would not know what anyone else was going through on any given day, we got an email from someone after our show, like a DM. And I can't remember what it was in regards to. But basically she was like,
it was in regards to us giving her permission to just fucking let go in that moment, in that room.
Yeah. And I don't know what made her say that. It was something about just sort of like, I have the same experience of like, I'm going through something really stressful. One of my family members has cancer. I just found out it's really bad, and it's like in my direct family. And I got to forget about it for a second.
It was the exact moment that she was talking about is when we said, let's just take a break and let's just let it go.
Oh, and realize everyone's going through something in this room.
Yes.
Everyone is going through. Everyone in this room has fucking something going on that you don't know about. But they're here to have fun and let go. So let's give them that permission. Let's not go and judge them for them yelling to whatever. Just let them be. Let them be in that moment. And I think that that's so much about everyone's entire life is let them be in the moment. They're doing the best they can in that moment. And you don't know what the fuck is going on when they walk into the house alone or get in their car, what they're dealing with. Nobody knows.
And if you if you could just hear that, but imagine that yourself. And it might not be today, but it might have been last year, or it might have been when you were a kid, or it might be next year when you have all these things going on and they're all private and personal, and everyone you come across has no idea. Like, think about you in that moment.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what you're going through. So don't assume you know what she's going through, even if she looks like everything is perfect.
And what she went through. And I think that that's so much about the weight loss conversation is everyone is so fired up because of the messages they received at some point in their life. But for not all of us. And so when you come at it from your own perspective, you know, it's not that anyone's trying to disrespect your opinion of the way you look. And I don't judge any way anyone looks. But if you are sitting there and you're so ashamed of what you're going through, that's the bigger problem than what someone else is doing with their body. And if you are, you know, not taking off your sweater because of your arms, why? Like, that's not you losing. That will never change, no matter if you keep weight on the person you follow or that person loses weight. That's never going to fix the way you feel about yourself. And I think that we need to, you could be the most fittest person and still be like, I don't like this.
Oh, 100%.
And I think that what we all need to have the conversation around is, why does that person, and we've said this before, why does that trigger you, and how can you work through that? Because it's a fucking clue into your life about what is upsetting you, and then work through it so that when you walk out the door, you can't be triggered by every person in your life, because that's an exhausting, terrible way to live, because you can't hide from everything in your world.
And I remember in the beginning when I would always openly talk about how I wanted to lose weight, and I had to really explain to people, because sometimes people didn't understand that I could be happy with myself, think I'm beautiful, and also want to lose weight, because people would always be like, you're beautiful just the way you are. You don't need to change.
You're like, I can't fucking do my shoes up. I am not comfortable.
And you thinking I'm beautiful just the way I am. Thank you. But that has nothing to do with the way I feel about myself.
And it doesn't change the way I'm
not going to be like, oh, you think I look great? Well, now I feel better and I'm not going to try and lose weight anymore. Thank you. Like, some people do get really validated from other people.
Exactly. Great for those people.
But some people, it's their own journey. But again, it's all different. And
don't ever say you're going to be one way. Like, please don't ever, because you're not. You're not. Like, you evolve, you change, and absolutely your body changes. And like, you fucking age and come back to me. Like, all you have to do is hit 40 and then come back to me. And you know, it's not even.
And women of all people, so many women, and so many women have babies.
Shouldn't we be like to Oprah? Congratulations, do you feel amazing? And if she's like, I feel fucking amazing. I love that for you. You know, so Kelly Clarkson, do you feel amazing? Like, not like, oh, you look like, what'd you do?
What you taking? Did you cheat? What?
Imagine it was like, you look great. Yeah. You look like you feel great. How do you feel? I feel fucking amazing. I love that for you.
Yeah.
Should we not be, rather than what, like, you are a sellout, you're terrible, you look so happy. And not that the weight is happy. Do you feel happy? And if you don't feel fucking happy losing weight, then don't fucking do it. But if you do, oh my God, I'm because your body has nothing to do with fucking me.
Yeah.
I'm not even sleeping with you. Like, I'm not even sharing clothes with you. It's not even like I rely on you to give you my jeans. Like, I'm nothing. Maybe if you're a twin, I can see you're like a bit pissed. Like, we share a closet, you know, or your sisters, you're like, fucking come on. But anyone else, I'm like, I don't really see.
And for anyone who is out there being like, my friend should really lose weight. I mean, she seems happy, but she's not doing anything about it. It's not your business.
I fucking care. If your friend is if anyone in your life is happy, they're winning and you're winning, because most people aren't happy no matter what size they are. So if you have someone who like wakes up and is thankful and grateful and loves life, nothing, their hairstyle, their sexual orientation, what kind of dog they like it doesn't matter, because I would love the percentage of people who are just happy in life, in life, let alone throwing someone's body in there, just happy. I bet it's very, very slim. And why we can't just celebrate people's happiness and small wins if they feel great, and obviously they do because they lost the weight and they wanted to, then we're like, it's not even about the weight.
And we're all a part of it too. If we're saying that, there's a lot of people that are unhappy, think about what your contribution, if you are happy or if you're not, but
share your joy.
But also take responsibility also for how you might be making other people feel, because I mean, I just still can't believe sometimes that people still comment on the shit. I'm like, are you fucking serious? They wouldn't have had to do these Oprah specials with all of these people if it wasn't still a conversation.
Oh, it's a massive conversation. Because I guess it's what's your relationship to diet culture? That's really what everyone needs to sit down and think. Journal it.
Journal it. Find out what it means to you. Because then you'll stop worrying about other people.
Yeah. And also you'll have a freedom you can't even imagine. Like I don't know what it's like. I've watched people in my life go through eating disorders or disordered eating, and I wish that on nobody. But unfortunately, that's a bigger picture, and that's not just about diet culture. Like now it's even a bigger picture that we're dealing with about, with boys and the way they look. Like body image is a very different picture than diet culture, sadly, because you can be 1 pound and still feel like you're never enough. So I think that if we could shift the narrative from, but then again, you and I don't have a feeling towards it. So it's very easy for us to say that.
Yeah.
And for the people who really have a lifelong history with diet culture and feel like they weren't enough around it, that's a really hard, I understand how hard that would be to even have these conversations or hear this conversation.
Yeah. Because
it's triggering you to feel like my whole life I've been told what to do or not to do, and that I'm not this. But
I obviously a lot of us understand that, but I think that for a lot of people that are listening, we are grown-ups and we have younger girls in our life. And I was hopeful when we had our daughters that we were, I was naive enough to think that we were in a place where there wouldn't be this conversation and there wouldn't be these pressures, but it's everywhere and it's all around. And, our daughters talk about their friends who are still dealing with this, if not more than when we were teenagers. We have to, again, take responsibility for the way that we behave around this whole topic, because the younger people are watching. And if it hasn't gotten better for us, we need to work on making it better for them.
Like 100%, and our sons, for the expectations of what, of that women aren't just their bodies. Because even when we have the conversation about weight, we project that it's all about women's bodies. And so we're to our sons like, no, it's not, but let's all talk about it and have fights over women's bodies, but then value them as people. But let's all talk about weight. It's just wild to me. And, if all of us could go and talk to someone who's in their 90s and 80s, the wisdom they would have around that the only thing that matters, it's not your weight unless it bothers you.
And all the wasted time
you spend thinking about it. But if it bothers you, then yes, it matters.
Yes.
If it doesn't bother you, then it doesn't, then fucking be what you need to be.
And also
I mean your actual weight. Like if your actual weight bothers you, then stop getting mad at people for losing weight. And then you figure out that that's you. If it doesn't bother you, then let those people be.
And it sounds like there are so many options for you now.
Yeah.
I heard that there's something coming to Canada that's going to be covered.
So I don't watch the news and I don't get it on my phone. Someone told me yesterday. And if you are struggling with it, I hear you. I think we see you, and I'm fucking sorry you had to go through that in your life. That it is such a that's shitty that you were told your worth was tied to something that really doesn't matter in the big scheme of things. But if it matters to you, then it matters, and that's
and that doesn't necessarily mean like your mom or your friend. It could be just culture and society that you heard and that you really took in.
Yeah,
and it hurt.
And you're and just so you know, you are no one in your family is thinking now, like your kids aren't looking at you being like, I wish you were different.
Mm-hmm.
They're thinking, I love you, and I love you just the way you are.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they grew up. Children are like little puppies.
Mm-hmm.
They just love you.
Yeah, I mean, mine will particularly sometimes tell me I prefer your hair wavy to straight, but that's really the extent of it.
But they would never trade you for someone else.
No.
They wouldn't get someone with wavy hair because they had wavy hair. They'd take you with straight hair over a different person with perfectly waved hair.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Guys, I hope that, if you are struggling or if you do feel like you're alone in this journey, go look up at that special. And I think that if there was a lot of great conversations around it.
And a lot of great personalities from all perspectives and participated.
Talk to your, talk to your friends about it. If we start talking about it in open conversations, it takes away all of the fear, the myths, the secrecy. And when you see someone and you don't know what to say and they've lost a lot of weight, like, how are you doing? How are you feeling?
Mm-hmm.
You feeling happy? Mm-hmm. And if they're like, I've never been happier. And if like, I'm not really happy, be like, what's going on? Just check in with them as a person.
Mm-hmm. Ciao.